Hello everyone, RegiTime again with another 10-hour session in my coaching RegiTime mini-series. It's a late start tonight. There's not too many players in the pool. It's shrinking fast. I was intended to play earlier, but I kind of got caught up watching the golf, watching Garcia finally get the monkey up his back. Didn't think he had it in him, to be honest. I was one of the guys that thought he might never win a major, but fair play to him. He showed his stones, that's for sure. Coming back from quite a way behind to get the job done. These sixes. I'm going to go 3 streets here now, I think. If we get raised, that plan will go out the window, of course. We get the job done. We probably just made him for the worst hand there, but we'll take it. We won the pot, which is, it's not the most important thing. Making good decisions is the most important thing, but picking up pots when we got marginal hands rather than just allowing fate to decide who wins, or not fate, but showdown to decide who wins. Who knows, maybe we got him off pocket 7s, pocket 8s there. Seems unlikely, but you never know. Again, we're going to be hoping to play somewhat more loose aggressive than my usual style during this video, and we're going to be focusing on stealing more, particularly from the small blind. 10-8 off from the cutoff, a little bit too weak, I think. If we have a confirmed nit on the button, then we can open it. Or some like tight plays in the blinds maybe, but we don't know enough about our opponents yet to be needing to open that wide, or to be wanting to open that wide. We're going to be playing the Queen 9. Maybe not. I'm just seeing like 2 tight players though in the blind, so I think we will play it. It's kind of loose, but we're going to be in position with a hand that's going to flop quite nicely against somebody who's probably some kind of recreational player. And we do get squeezed, which is disappointing, but never mind. I don't know if it's better to check here or lead out with my 2 pair. I think we're just going to lead out. He's just bet 10 cents and the flop is limped in. Can't guarantee he's going to bet big enough to make it to warrant checking. And then the worst card comes on the river, and now we're just going to check fold unless he bets something ludicrous. $35. I mean, we're just almost never good here, I wouldn't imagine. What are we getting? 4 and a bit to 1. I guess we have to pay it because he's bet such a small bet, but he's just going to have some shit ace here almost always, I would have thought. Queen 8, and that's why we can't fold to those small bets, but by heck. If we'd have made a bit larger bet, we absolutely, I mean, what on earth did he call that turn with? Is it going to come up here? Gut shot. Just picked up the gut shot and called the turn. Not sure I'm a fan of that. Three bet the King 10 suited versus the small isolation raise. When people mix small isolation raises to like just 3x, I tend to give them less credit. I think people make larger isolation raises with their premiums, and usually smaller isolation raises with kind of like weaker hands. We've flopped pretty damn good, considering we've got 2 callers. And I'm going to absolutely bomb here and not fold if we somehow get action. Interesting turn. Just going to jam. We're going to be behind to set sometimes, I guess. And we win. Did not necessarily expect to win when he just snapped us off there and we didn't improve. What did he have? It's not showing, but he had Jack 10. So I guess we're pretty happy with that. The way that turned out. Let's speculate to accumulate. In fact, that couldn't have worked out much better for us, really, could it? It's we managed to get someone in drawing close to dead in a 3-bet pot with kind of one of the weakest hands we're going to have for value, which is nice. That is nice. I'm not going to be c-betting the ace king on table 1. Certainly not going to be continuing versus a donk bet, but I am interested to see what he's donking here. He looks like he might be a regular, and then he does something that's not great. Shame that didn't go to showdown there, because I would like to have seen what his call 3-bet donk that flop range looks like. Well, not what his range, because obviously we don't know what his range is like, but what type of, like, at least one of the hands that he does it with. No set, no bet with the 6s. We're just going to fold if he bets, unless he bets like 10 cents or something. It looks like the pool is starting to shrink quite rapidly, down to 30 players. Still plenty for now. If it ends up just being a short video due to golf, it ends up being a short video due to golf. It's not the end of the world. If we do get down to where tables are 4-handed and 3-handed, if there's still some weak players in the pool, we're going to stick at it. If it looks like it's mostly regulars of some description, then we won't stick at it. And we just let the games go. I'm not really sure what's going on when you catch 13/4s open limping buttons. I always wonder how do these players kind of exist? How do you become someone who maybe has a style of like 12/4, 16/5 open limping buttons? Is that like a style you just devised for yourself? Are you like misinterpreting lots of things? I don't really understand it. I don't understand how ending up being that type of player happens. Understand how being a nit happens, understand how being like super loose and like too gambly happens. I don't really understand how that happens. It looks like this pool's disintegrating quickly down to 4-handed tables now. We've had the king 10 to enjoy, haven't we? If it ends up being a short session, but we'll always have the king 10. This is close to a check back, this queen 10, but that's close to a check back for me. But we'll bet it. It's kind of not a hand I'm ever really going to go for 3 streets with. So if I don't have a 3 street hand for betting, I quite often take flops off. Especially on wet boards where people might just like be creating draws and things and kind of just get me off my hand too easily. Queen 6 wouldn't be a typical open from me, but against someone who's at the moment playing 20/7, if I'm looking for spots to widen my small blind range, stealing from people who look quite weak and passive, probably good places to start. Seems like a good turn card. Seems like a bad river card. Wow. Did not expect someone with those stats, albeit over a small sample, to defend in the deuce 6 suited. Which just kind of goes to show how deceptive stats can be, because I wouldn't expect a 20/7 to defend 6-2 suited. So that tells me he probably isn't going to end up being a 26/7. That's a pretty big bet. We won't be looking to call 3 really big bets. And we're just happy to check our hand down here. I guess I'm going to lose to pocket 9s, pocket jacks, pocket queens a decent amount. Don't think we win very often here, but the pot's too small to bluff in. I don't think we're going to get him to fold any of those hands either, unless we go for an overbet or something. Go for a check raise here with our backdoor everything, although it's not great backdoor everything. Still, it's just min raised and he's made a nominally sized C bet. Did call though. I guess our note's not going to be too useful at this point. Nope. And I think we'll just give up. The turn doesn't improve us in any shape or form. And I guess we could continue barreling, try and rep a big one, but no. Took our shot with the check raise. We didn't improve our equity. I'm comfortable just giving up there. And we're hoping the check raise works. If the check raise doesn't work, we're hoping some backdoor equity comes to give us reason to continue being aggressive. We failed on both of those scores, so let's not just go nuts and try and win a pot just for the sake of trying to win a pot. It's the second time we've had aces this session, the second time we've won almost nothing. It's kind of irritating because when everything boils down over a big sample size, hands like pocket aces are the hands that we make a massive amount of our profit from. So when we just get them and don't get action with them, it's a pisser, basically. It's a pretty big pisser. And a walk with queens too. Hard to make money when you keep getting walks with your premiums. Pool's down to 22. And we're getting walks with premiums. This is usually a situation where I'll be like, you know what, the pool's small and there's not a lot of action. So there's a good chance we're going to end the video soon. I'm not going to keep my eyes open over the next 2 or 3 minutes for anyone with alarming HUD stats. If we don't have anyone with alarming HUD stats, then and we're going to abandon the session. Tuborg looks like he could be fun. Somewhat of a loose open, but not super loose, and we have a potential fish in the blinds. Bad flop for us. Stab once with the 8-7 just because the King Queen Deuce Rainbow is such a good flop for our range. We get action. We'll be pitching it. On the top set on table 2. No, board with some draws, so we're hopeful to get a little bit of action. Doesn't look like we're going to though. Check raising our backdoor equity on table 1. The 3 of diamonds, a pretty interesting card. It does give us backdoor everything, and again it's a pretty dry board, so we can expect to get quite a few folds, or we can hope to. And now we're down to playing 3-handed. Still 22 in the lobby, it says. I guess that might be taking its time to update. Plenty of people one-tabling, but looking at the stats, nobody that I'm like super excited to play against, so it's looking like it's just going to be a 20-minute session. Not even that, probably. And for the 3rd time with aces and once with queens, we get no action. I think that's enough of a reason to just not bother playing this session now. There's 15 players in the pool. It's died. I've left it too late to start because of the golf. We had aces 3 times in 144 hands, and we picked up the blinds every time, and that was it. We got a walk in the big blind, we stole the big blind, and then we stole the big and little blind. And then we had queens to go to walk with them. So all in all, yeah. Frustrating session, not very long, not much you can do about it. I'm off to do something more interesting. Take care guys, and we'll see you again soon.